Ahead on American Sunrise, President Trump continues his whirlwind trip to Asia. How many deals can get done, and what do they mean for the U.S. standing on the world stage? We have analysis throughout the show. Plus, a bombshell. House Oversight Committee report deems some of Joe Biden's auto pen orders were invalid and called on the Justice Department to investigate. Will there be any accountability? We do have the latest. And later, Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson refuses to use the term illegal aliens. How is this going over? We have that story and so much more as American Sunrise starts right now.
Good morning, America.
Welcome to American Sunrise.
Whether it's culture,
We have breaking news to share with you.
politics,
President Trump is joining us live now from Florida.
we've got you covered.
This is what it looks like to be a patriot.
We have to protect the American family.
The American dream is still alive.
I'm David Brody.
I'm Terrence.
And I'm Dr. Gina.
Good morning to you, and thanks so much for being here with us for American Sunrise. I'm Terrence Bates in our Denver newsroom. Let's bring in David Brody. He's in Washington, D.C. Emily Finn. She is in our West Palm studios in for Dr. Gina. Lady and gentleman, good morning to both of you. Can we just get straight to it, because there is so much to talk about. While you two were sleeping, I was wide awake. I don't know if you guys were actually sleeping or not, but I was wide awake early this morning watching some of President Trump's speech to troops over in Japan. He, of course, touted peace through strength, also talked about his use of tariffs and trade. Here's just part of that speech for those of you who missed it.
We stopped a lot of those wars based on trade and tariffs and penalties, and they're getting all ready to fight, and then we tell them, no more trading with the United States. We're putting tariffs on your nation, et cetera, et cetera. It's called national security for us, but it's really national security for the whole world. And everywhere we go, America is actually making peace, and it's peace through strength. When they look at this, when they look at you people, they say, we're not going to mess around with them. So it's very important.
I'm not going to lie, David and Emily, I was hoping that he would just go into, and you get a tariff, and you get a tariff, and you over there, you get a tariff as well. It is good policy, though.
Well, look, it's a counterbalance is what he's doing here, not just with the tariffs. I'm talking about why he's over in Asia to begin with. You know, he reached that rare earths mineral deal with Japan, and this is all about a counterbalance to China's military aggressiveness, especially in the East China Sea. So this is all strategic, and well, it should be. And we need Japan as a key ally. There's no doubt about it.
Definitely strategic. Absolutely. Need to have allies in that region. Terrence, I will say, I woke up this morning, was doing my hair and makeup, and I usually don't see President Trump that early in the morning. So I was pleasantly surprised to see that speech as well. Peace through strength has been something that he has been saying the entire time. So just continuing on with his agenda on the world stage.
And not just one ally, but a key ally, the big ally. I mean, the big enchilada in the region, if you will.
No, absolutely. Guys, another big story that we're monitoring, just the news is out with this headline, which reads, House Oversight Committee deems some of Biden's auto pen orders invalid, asks the DOJ to investigate. Of course, there are calls on the DOJ to investigate, and James Comer, the chairman of that committee, says that evidence could be used to overturn some of the auto pen actions and executive orders that would have been signed by auto pen from President Biden. Emily, this is huge news, and obviously it's still developing, but this could be very big.
It certainly, Terrence, I think it's just so sad that so many people let this happen over the 4 years of Biden's administration. It feels like a massive cover up. And so I'm happy that the investigation still continues on. Evidence is still coming out about the use of this auto pen. It should have never happened as the president of the United States, David.
And the House Oversight Committee is basically saying, prove it to us, Biden administration. You've got the evidence that he was involved in this. Go ahead and prove it to us. What do you got? And if they don't have the goods, literally the House Oversight Committee in this report called Biden's actions, certain actions, illegitimate. That was the word they used. Well, if they're illegitimate, well, that raises a whole host of constitutional issues as to what was approved in terms of going forward and what can be rescinded going forward as well. So fascinating stuff. I know it's time for the Bible verse, but we had a lot to vamp about this morning, Emily.
Certainly a lot to talk about. All right, let's check out that Bible verse. It comes from Ephesians 1:7-8. And it says, in him we have redemption through his blood, the forgiveness of sins according to the riches of his grace, which he made to abound toward us in all wisdom and prudence. All right, President Trump continues his marathon trip across Asia, and he met with Japan's first female prime minister. Here's part of that meeting. Take a look.
I have always had a great love of Japan and a great respect of Japan. And I will say that this will be a relationship that will be stronger than ever before. And I look forward to working with you. And on behalf of our country, I want to just let you know, anytime you have any question, any doubt, anything you want, any favors you need, anything I can do to help Japan, we will be there. We are an ally at the strongest level. And it's a great honor to be with you, especially so early in what will be, I think, one of the greatest prime ministers. I think you will be one of the great. Everything I know from Shinzo and others, you will be one of the great prime ministers. I'd also like to congratulate you on being the first woman prime minister. That's a big deal. That's a big deal, and I want to congratulate you on that. I think that has to be called out. And you're going to do a fantastic job, and we're going to have a fantastic relationship. Thank you very much.
Let's bring in RAV Chief White House correspondent Brian Glenn. Brian, President Trump signed a critical minerals deal with Japan, added this will intensify cooperative efforts between the two countries. What more can you tell us, Brian?
It sure will. And you know what? Good morning, everybody. I love the optics of this entire trip. Everything from the red carpet dance we saw in Malaysia to these trade deals and these mineral agreements that we have in Japan, even what looked like this morning a Trump rally there in Tokyo. President Trump taking aboard the USS George Washington as well. But this is a great deal. President Trump praising leaders in Japan, business leaders in Japan, for all the investments they have proposed to come into the U.S. This was a great visit, great stop. I think President Trump has a lot of respect for the people of Japan and their new prime minister. Also, President Trump agreeing to provide missiles to Japan's F-35 jets they have. So a little bit of a military agreement as well. But what a great, effective and achievable meeting there in Japan.
Yeah, and let's remember, he's been dealing with the Japanese culture, the business culture, for over 50 years. I mean, he knows exactly how these folks over there work and what he can do to kind of maneuver around the art of the deal. Hey, Brian, we talked about this at the top, but this House Oversight Committee report, I mean, this is a big deal. I mean, they're essentially questioning all of the auto pen signatures. I shouldn't say all. Well, yeah, all of the ones, but we're not quite sure which ones specifically that Biden did during his administration. So they've called on the DOJ to open this investigation. Look, bottom line is that they say there wasn't any record at all that Biden approved certain executive actions. So they're concluding that, look, if the Biden administration can't prove the president approved any of that, then those actions would be illegitimate. I mean, this isn't going away. This is gaining steam, and I'm glad to see it.
Yeah, James Comer really, there in the House Oversight, stepping on the gas on this whole thing. And President Trump has talked about it many times. You know, we know there was a few that he's actually signed and was behind, but there are maybe thousands of things. Even one had to do with oil and gas leases that even Speaker Johnson challenged Joe Biden on at one time, and Joe Biden had no recognition of even signing these things. And by the way, that auto pen does not reside in the White House. A lot of people don't realize this. It is across the street in the Eisenhower building. That's where the actual auto pen is located. And some would say that's where the actual Oval Office was located under Joe Biden. But this is going to get looked into from 6 ways to Sunday, and it should be. And those held accountable if they, in fact, misused the auto pen and made policies that were damaging to this country.
Being looked into and actually overturning some of the actions, two very different things. And I think the latter, Brian, is really the key, overturning some of those actions. I know it's still early and we're still investigating, but how possible is that, that some of the actions that would have been signed by Autopin would be overturned? Like, what's the over under on that right now, Brian?
Yeah. Well,
not to Chauncey Billups you, but you get my point.
I do. Well, I don't. That's pretty good. I like that.
My bad. I should have left that alone. Go ahead.
No, it's Perfect timing for that. I don't know, to be completely honest with you. And you look at all of the things that even Pam Bondi has on her plate. I don't know how much more we can add, but I do think there should be accountability. That's what MAGA wants. We've always wanted accountability. And I can tell you one thing, and I'll break a little bit of news to you. If this does in fact go down and we start to hold people accountable, you can add Anthony Fauci to this list of being pardoned, and stay tuned because he could get someone looking into all of the, I guess, the weaponization that he had in terms of absolutely causing world chaos and some of the misuse in his power. So I don't know. Let's hope that accountability does come, though.
You know, Brian, before we let you go here, we did want to get your reaction to this New York Post headline as well, kind of switching gears here to New York City. House Republicans want to strip Zoran Mamdani of citizenship, possibly deport the New York City mayoral frontrunner over form omissions. Brian, your reaction to this? Is this really a possibility that he could be deported?
You know, well, once again, going back to Terrence's question, I don't think that's going to happen, but I do like the fact that we're having this dialogue right now. And let's be honest, if he lied on his application at the time for being a naturalized citizen, saying that he was not a part of the Democrat Socialist Association, whatever that organization is, he wouldn't have become a naturalized citizen. That would never happened. But I do think we need to look into this because this is a serious thing. If people come to this country, they run for office in the best interest of another country or in something that quite in fact goes against our Constitution of what our founding fathers laid out, I don't think they should be allowed to A, run for office, or B, even be a U.S. citizen if you cannot adapt to the way our government is run and upheld the Constitution. So look, New Yorkers, they may touch the hot stove on Tuesday. I hope that is not the case. It certainly looks like it is when you look at the polling, but this is obviously something that should be looked into as well.
All right, Brian Gren, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks, B.
Thanks, Brian.
Coming up, we check out the hottest headlines from the RAV newsroom with T. Bates. And later, President Trump says he is confident the U.S. will get a trade deal done with China. What will this mean for security? We have expert analysis soon on American Sunrise. Stay with us.